Hey, welcome back to the Baco Motorsports Hour at the Auto Club Famoso Raceway segment. I heard that Blake Bowser was out of town. I forgot to contact Blake Bowser to ask him if he was out of town. Lewis Hamastoy didn't contact Blake Bowser because I told Lewis I thought Blake was out of town. He may be in town, but we're going to talk about Auto Club Famoso Raceway.
No, you're going to
I'm
talk
gonna
about
talk about that.
because I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to step on Blake's toes.
Okay.
You know, just because you didn't make contact with him and Lewis didn't make contact with him, he's probably over there steaming right now.
Oh, he's probably, yeah, he probably is, or he's over at Catalina Island or somewhere.
Well,
I
there
don't
you
know.
go.
It's
Well,
spring
hey.
break. You know, I know that, his wife
What does
said
that say about my life? Everybody else is gone, and I'm here with you.
I'm wondering the same thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
But we'll talk about Auto Club Famoso
we'll talk.
Raceway.
They had a bracket, the Summit Series ET bracket race out there, the first one of the season. And
And normally they do two,
they
right?
do two.
Yeah.
They do an ET1
Uh-huh.
and an ET2. ET1. They do the first race on Saturday, and the second race
on
Sunday. That way, everybody comes for the weekend. They get two races out of the
on.
way. They only have to, that's 4 times a year you show up. I think get your 8 races in, and it's just a lot better than a lot of these guys are towing from long distances. So
Sure.
throughout California to come here to race.
And these are bracket cars. So
these are bracket
door
cars,
slammers, radial
door
tire
slammers,
cars. Yeah.
whatever. They,
Yeah.
they fit in a certain bracket: super pro, sportsman, motorcycle. But it was also a test and tune.
Right.
And I know there were a lot of varieties. I saw some of the pictures that Tom Mock took. I saw that John Weaver was out there in his Nostalgia Funny car
Nice.
testing. So you never know. That's the thing about Famoso Raceway. These are some of the bracket cars, and Tom's got some great shots from the weekend.
Some of those straight axle front gasser type, hot rods, those cars like that are some of my favorite. That's a great looking shot on that Nova doing the wheel stand. Look at that tire wrinkle on the back there, boy.
I know Tom likes to get these cars launching off the line on the wheel stand. And that's the beauty of these sportsmen and super pro cars. A lot of them leave hard. They bring the wheels up, they settle down, get down the quarter mile.
Right.
And you'll see cars out there for a race like this. Some of them running as quick as 8 seconds, and then others in the 14, 15-second bracket. You had an A gasser out here.
Nice.
I don't know whether he was competing or testing, but this is an A gas
It's a
car.
great looking Corvette. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and those get down there in about 7.6 seconds is the index for an A gas car. And so the thing is, and this is what
Looky there.
Lewis is going to be upset. He loves his VWs. They come out here, and that's pretty quick VW, obviously.
It is. My growing up, my family was involved in we were just sponsoring a VW just like that, 2180 dual carbs on it like that. That ran in the low 10s, so it was a very quick car. I mean, those things are so lightweight, and that power plant in the back, those are some big Weber dual carburetors on the back of that thing. Pretty amazing.
I know, and a lot of guys that run the sand rails and stuff like to get those 2100 plus
Yeah.
VW engines and go out there because
You can even make an 1885 run pretty strong on a quarter mile. But
yeah. So you got that, and Tom had a great time. He went out there, I think, for 2 days because that's what Tom does. He shoots photos. And
Right.
he's always running around shooting photos. But the thing is, on the ET series, they did not have anybody double up. Nobody doubled up. Nobody got 2 wins.
Oh, that's
So we had the Super Pro Greg Treeman won one race, and Tim Kochler won the other race. So no doubling up. And then in Pro it was Roger Phillips, and then Dean Kirkman won the next race. Sportsman it was Pam Holsey, and then C.W. Hofer got the next win. And in motorcycles, Terry Turner won one race, and David Ocha won the other. So you sometimes you get those guys go on a roll here,
Sure.
but it looked like, it's tough to come back and win. I mean, these guys, I imagine there's a lot of guys running right on their dial-ins, right near it. It all comes down to reaction time. You can't be slow off the lights.
I really enjoy bracket racing when I, go. And that's kind of how we grew up out there at Auto Club Famoso Raceway is on that bracket racing because it was inexpensive to take the family out there. And you can watch racing all day long, man. They go from sun up to sundown just about.
Yeah, the thing is that you got, a lot of these, you're not leaving at the same time. So you've got
Right.
somebody dialed in
Right.
at a 990, and you've got a 1080 car. Well, you've got almost a second lead
Right.
off the start, but you know that guy's going to be coming sometime. He's coming.
Yeah.
And so you can't really sandbag and let off
Right.
because, if you do, let off 100 feet short, but that guy might just
He
blow
just
by
might,
you, and you just
because
cost
that's the
yourself a
thing.
race.
You've got to get to the start-finish line first without breaking out in your dial-in.
And
So,
for those who don't know, a breakout means if I've got a car that runs 1080 and I go through there and run 1079, oops, I broke out. Unless the other guy, say he was 1060 and he ran 1058, well, he broke out by the most.
Yep, double breakout.
Double breakout.
Whoever breaks out the least.
So it's all kind of interesting on that. And this
But
is
you
probably
still
Blake
have to get to
tested.
that. You probably still have to get to that white line first. You got to get to the finish line first without breaking out. That's the goal. And that just makes it very, very, very interesting to me, especially with those 1 second, second and a half gaps
Oh yeah,
at the starting line.
And sometimes there might be more in the
Sure.
In the sportsman category because it can go for a pretty big range there.
Yeah.
So you could have a 2.5 second
That's
gap.
pretty amazing.
And the other thing, if you're sitting there, I bracket raced back in the day, and I've been on both ends of that.
Right.
Sometimes you're taking off first. Sometimes you're sitting there for like what seemed an eternity. The other
Right.
guy's going down the track, and you're waiting for your light to come down so,
Right.
so you can get going and catch them.
Yeah.
So bracket racing is a lot of fun. If you've never been out there, go out there sometime. It's not that much to go out there and watch it. And, I mean, there's a bracket for you if you want to race.
Sure, and it's 4 times a year, so that they do it Saturday and Sunday. I'm sure they do spring, summer, fall, and something close to the winter. I'm
Right.
sure they kind of pile it up there September, October. But yeah, 4 times a year, and it's all day long, man. Drag racing all day long, and that's really the grassroots, that bracket style division. That whatever Auto Club Famoso Raceway is. What are they? Division 7.
There used to be Pacific Division,
Yeah.
Division 7.
Yeah, so that if that's the case, man, it's a great entertainment for the family.
Yeah, that it is. And I think they start in May, what they call their street tuners. And that's built for first timers or just street cars, not bracket cars. If you've never drag raced before, and you can go to FamosoRaceway.com. They've got a schedule up there. They're going to do that about once a month and have the street tuners of the street cars. You can take your old F-250 out there.
Could I take
And run
my brand new Jim Burke Ford Mustang convertible pace car out
Oh,
there
you
and
could
drag
take that
it?
and see. You know
Okay.
what? Jim Burke probably wouldn't care.
I know. Well, and
you
I
want to
just-
see what that thing does in the quarter mile.
I just flip a switch and it goes to track mode. So
There you
yeah,
go.
that
That's
5.0
probably more for getting around Buttonwillow Raceway and the curves.
Well, I tell you what, I have switched it over there a couple times, and the acceleration definitely does change.
nice.
Yeah.
But before that, we've got coming up at Auto Club Famoso Raceway. They've got this week off, obviously spring break. Everybody's gone except us.
Yep.
I think Louis Amestoy is secretly on spring break and not in a meeting.
Nice.
But April 9th and 10th is the Red List Series, and I think that's limited to a certain number of cars. And they've got all kinds of that's an interesting deal. They've got incentives. They've got like $20 gift certificate or $25 award for this and $50 award for that, and a lot of little.
My understanding of this Red List series is you're going to see some exotic cars. You're going to see some Italian sports cars.
yeah.
You're going to see some purpose-built drag cars. You're going to see some of those factory-made race cars. You know that you see is it the Coda?
I think
The Coda Camaros. You're going to see that type of stuff out there. You're going to.
Yeah,
it's a really interesting event.
It's an interesting event, and they do a thing throughout the nation, I think, on this, and you're going to see something unusual, probably.
Yeah.
Pretty good racing, but it's got all kind of bonus money,
Right.
or incentive money, and I
Sure.
think that's really interesting. And then I don't have it on those, but upcoming at the end of the month, ANRA, and I think it's the 22nd through 24th of February that weekend. The first of 4 races for the American Nostalgia Racing Association. That's their big one. They have a barbecue.
Is it the
You know,
spring,
the spring
national-
one. They
spring nationals?
crown all their
Right.
champions from the previous seasons. Butch throws a barbecue. They get about 300 cars out there
Nice.
and have a good 2-day race. So that's what's coming up at Famoso Raceway.
And that's 1,320 feet. Nostalgia drag racing in a true quarter mile.
True quarter mile racing.
Right.
So busy times coming up for Famoso. And we're going to take another break and
Nice.
come back this
We
time
made it through 2 segments.
with Bakersfield Speedway. And I know Scott's not here, but we got Steve Hughes. We're going to talk some dirt track racing when we come back.
Awesome.